Hello children. Yes, today we are going to deal with our second unit in your reader part, that is travel. Okay, so when you hear this word travel, what is that thing that it comes to your mind? The first thing. Yes, of course, it's the luggage, right? Luggage, moving out of your home, just moving outside, going to a different place to sightseeing. It can be so, or some they may go for some adventures also, right? It depends upon their individual likings and all. But most of us, the main thing for traveling is that what is that, the luggage obviously we do carry, right? It can be the things, clothes what do we wear or whatsoever we want to, just want to carry these things because we need to we are in use of all these things when you go for traveling, right? So but I hope every one of you love traveling, right children? You all love to travel. Even I am one among them. Even I too love traveling. So yes, it's like just a fun. And I hope whenever you travel, you are small kids, you always want, if you are going by train or a bus, you always want the window seat. Why children? Just you want to see outside, right? You just want to see the world, what's outside the bus, just how the things going back. You just want to see each and everything, right? So yes, that obviously every one of us love to travel, right? Children, I just want you all to open the page number 22 in your textbook. We do have some small activity to do that. We'll just complete and move forward with the poem. Okay, yes, it's the introduction part. So people all over the world love traveling. Some people travel too far off places either for adventure or merely for sightseeing. As soon as schools close for summer vacations, we start looking forward to various travel activities. Of course, right children, as soon as the exams are completed, we will be waiting for this moment, right? Just you will be waiting. Some of you would like to go to your villages where your grannies they live, right? Most of you love to stay with your grannies, love to hear the stories which your grannies they say, right? Some people they may go as a tour with the families or whatsoever. Okay, it depends upon their likings and all. So they are just asking you to write down in these the leftover 4 blurbs which you see in the on the tree, to write down the places where you would like to go in your during the holidays. Okay, that's it, nothing else. You just have to write down there the 4 different places where you want to go. That's it. Okay children, this part you have to do by your own. Okay, so yeah, what's next? So where did you go for spending your last summer vacation? I'm sorry for asking this question. I know that this summer vacation we could not go anywhere because of this COVID, right? But of course we would have planned somewhere to go, right? Maybe one or two among you might have gone and came back also. But of course many of us we did not go anywhere due to this coronavirus whatsoever. Okay, but of course this summer we had missed ourselves with these things. But of course last summer you may be thinking about, okay, what you all had done, where did you go and all, right? So you can just tell to your partners, your friends and all this about this. You can just remind yourself that what all you did, where did you go for the summer vacation and all, right children? So shall we go with the poem? Children, apart from these kind of travels, okay, apart from these kind of travels, going by bus, train and all, have you ever thought, okay, have you ever thought that if I become too small, where all I'll go? If I become too big, size I'm saying, okay, when how you become, now you are almost a normal size person, okay, you like tiny creature. If you become a tiny creature, what are the things that you would like to do and where all you would like to go? Have you ever thought? Have you ever just imagine children, if I was so small that I would have done this? Have you ever just imagined such kind of things and all? Maybe some might have done, some might have not done, right? So here we have a poet by name Bobby Katz. Okay, he just wants to enjoy his traveling in a different way. Okay, just let's see that what is that, where all he wants to go if he gets a chance, right? So even children, if I ask you that where all you want to go all alone, if you get a chance, maybe I may get different answers from you, right? Variety of answers I may get from you people. But have you ever thought that if I become like a fish, if I become like a what do you call, a pencil and all, what are things that you have you ever thought in such way? Maybe no, right children? So we'll just go through this poem, what this poet has to say all about. Yes. So here is a poem that deals with almost travel plans. If you could go anywhere, where would you go? Deep in the jungle, deep in the snow, deep in the ocean to talk to a fish. If you could go anywhere that you could wish. Here the reply is, if I could go anywhere, here's what I would do. I would pop in the pouch of a kind kangaroo. I would travel around for as long as I please, and I would learn to say thank you in kangaroese. If I would go through the hole of a needle like thread, I would spin like a top on the point of my head. I would skate on an ice cube, I would swim in a glass. I would ride on a grasshopper if I once should pass. And when I got tired of being so small, I would abracadabra myself to be tall. I would step over oceans, I would step over seas. I would cause a few shipwrecks if I had to sneeze. I would pat a giraffe on the top of his head. I would find out or sure if the North Pole was red. And when I had seen all that I want to see, I hope I would know how to turn back into me. I hope you might have understood that what are the travels that this poet wants to do actually, right children? So here we can see that he loves to do many things, becoming just changing his size. Okay, so let us go in detail. Okay children, so here the first thing, see he says in his first line that, so the poet is someone is asking the poet that if you could go anywhere, where would you go? Deep in the, so he says that I would like to go in the deep in the jungle. See, this is the jungle, children. Have you ever thought that have you going to jungle all alone? No, right? You are scared. Maybe some of among you are so brave also, right? See, he wants to go deep in the jungle and he wants to go deep in the snow also. Wow, right? Night allowed to travel in such places, right? So he says that next he says deep in the ocean to talk to a fish. He wants to go deep in the ocean and he wants to speak to these fish. Okay, you can see the fish there, right? Then if you could go anywhere, where would you go? Then he says, if I could go anywhere, here's what I would do. He says, I would pop in the pouch of a kind kangaroo. Can you see the small baby there which is in the pouch? We all know what's a pouch, right children? But here the kangaroo's pouch is so small where the the child is sitting there, right? So the poet says that he would jump, pop in the sense just jumping into the pouch, and he'll just like to sit in that pouch, he says. I would travel around for as long as I please, and I would learn to say thank you in kangaroese. See here, actually this kangaroese is not any what do you call dictionary word. It is just a word used to tell that it's a kangaroo's language. So we all know by default that yes, animals do speak in their own language. Yes, so children, we all have a that kind of imagination that yes, these animals they talk to each other in their own language. So here the poet wants to say that he will travel, means he will sit in the pouch and he will travel everywhere and he will learn their language, the kangaroo's language, and while coming back he will say thank you in their own language. I don't know children what they do, they say in the kangaroo's language thank you, okay, but the poet says that he will say thank you in kangaroo's language. So I hope you understood that kangaroos is nothing but a language where the kangaroos speak, okay, not seriously, but usually we say that the animals they do speak, so I can say that it's a kangaroo's language, and the poet want to say thank you to the kangaroo in its language. You can see the picture in your book there, the boy is sitting in that pouch, right? So for that reason he has to become so small. A big child can't sit in that small pouch, right? So his size would be so tiny there, right? So he says that I will travel anywhere, wherever I want, sitting in the pouch, and while coming back, of course, it has taken him everywhere, right? So while coming back, he will want to say him thank you in its language, right? Is what here he meant is. So next you see, next he says, I would go to the hole of a needle. See, just think about that, children. See, look at that hole. It's so small. He wants to become so tiny that he wants just to go through that small hole, right? I hope you can, why I am showing the picture, it means you should understand that what is that needle, thread, a hole and all, right. So I would go through the hole of a needle like thread. So how the thread easily goes through that hole, right. In the same way he says that I also want to go through that small hole. Then he says that I would spin like a top on the point of my head. We all know what is a top, right children? Boguri, what you say, right? So he says that he himself want to become a top. He wants, see that, look at the picture, second picture there. He himself wants to turn downside, and on the head he wants to turn like a top. Okay, spin like a top, he says that. Then he says that he wants to skate. I would like to skate on an ice cube. Children, we all know that what is skating, right? But he wants to skate on that small ice cube because he's too small, right children? So he says that in the small, you can see the second picture downwards there. See, the above picture is the place where it's the ice, where the people are skating over there. But in the second picture down, you can see that it's a small ice cube. He says that he wants to skate on that small ice cube. Okay, because we all know that he's very tiny there, right? So next he says that I would skate on the ice cube. I would swim in the glass. Have you ever thought, children, that swimming in the glass is possible? No, right? So this here poet, he imagines that yes, if I am small, I want to go into the glass and I just want to swim in that water, right, in the glass of water. Then he says that I would like to ride on a grasshopper if one should pass. If any grasshopper is just passing from his side, he just want to sit on it and he want to just ride on it like a horse, right? On the horse, how we sit and ride, right? In the same way he says that if any grasshopper is just passing from my side, I will just sit on that and I will just take a nice ride, he says, right? Because he is very tiny there, so much tiny. Then and when I got tired of being so small, now he is tired, means he has become so tiny, he has whatever wishes he had, everything he has done. Now he want to change himself to very big size, huge size. Big means not normal size, children. Big like a giant, we can say, right? He wants to become like a big giant, right? In that way he says. Then when I got tired of being small, I would abracadabra. Abracadabra is nothing but a chant, a mantra, we say, right? We do that, abracadabra, gili gili pua, chua. We might have seen in the magic shows and all that. They use such kind of chant mantras just to show you the magic. Thus he says that I would just say abracadabra myself and he'll become tall, very tall. See, then what he want to do is that he will step over the oceans. Over the oceans he want to step. See, oceans are a big mass, what you call, of water, right? Water body, right? Bigger than the seas. So he want to say that he just want to step over the oceans and step over the seas, and I would cause a few shipwrecks if I had to sneeze. In the second picture you see that it's called a shipwreck. The ship is breaking off, right? See, when he sneezes, achoo, right? Sneezes. When he sneezes, the ship will break. Such a power he wants. It means he says that if I would cause a few shipwrecks if I had to sneeze. That's what he says there. Then he says, I would pat on a giraffe head, top of a. Have you ever tried to put your hand on giraffe's head, children? Highly impossible, right? Because it's too tall. So he says that because now he's too tall, right? He says that I would pat on giraffes on the top of its head. Then I will say that he will go to and I would find whether for sure if the North Pole is red, because North Pole he has learned that it's red in color, that he want to see that, he want to make it sure. Oh really? I just want to go and see that the North Pole is red or what. Okay, that's what he says that. And when I had seen all that I want to, now he is fulfilled, he's happy with his excitement of being small and being tall. Then I hope I would now know how to turn back into me. That he says, okay, I know the mantra, again I can turn back myself into normal. Okay, normal child, he says. See, this is what this poet wants to do actually, right? Different travel plans he has for himself. I saw my children, see, when I said that travel, we thought of different places, right? But this boy, he says that his traveling plans are different. He want to become so tiny and he want to do all this. He want to skate on the ice cube. He want to swim in the glass of water. He want to sit in the pouch of a kangaroo and move everywhere, and he want to sit on the grasshopper. See, what are things he wants? He want to just go to the hole of a needle also, right? When he want to become, when he become very big or giant, he just want to step over the oceans and over the seas. He want to just touch on the top of the, what you call, giraffe's head. And he says that he will create some shipwrecks when he sneezes. These all things he says in this poem, and he want to check whether really the North Pole is red in color or what. That is what he says all in his poem, and he tells about his travel plans. Okay, children. So, children, if possible, children, you also can put 1 or 2, 3 lines of your own, that where you would like to travel when if you are too small, and where all you would like to travel if you are too big. Okay, you can just pick out the same lines, and you just add up your wishes, what all things you will do when you're too small or too big. Okay, it will be like a fun. Okay, you just try it out, children. Okay, children, so shall we go with the next question answers here? So work with your partner, list all the places where the poet wishes to go. I hope now you understood that what all things the poet wants to travel, right? Yeah, it's very easy to write, right? You can easily write. So he says that he wants to go to jungle, deep in the jungle. He says that he wants to go inside the ocean. He wants to go deep in the snow. Then inside the hole of a needle, he says on the ice cube you want to skate. Not, but even you can add up your own point, because there are many things that he has written in the poem. You can also write down there. Okay, children. Now see there. Read the extract and answer the questions that follow. And when I had seen all that I want to see, I hope I would know how to turn back into me. Write 4 things that the speaker had seen. What are the things that the speaker has? He has seen many things, right, children? So they are asking you to write any 4. So it is your well and wish, whichever you want you can write. But I have written there kangaroo, grasshopper, giraffe and North Pole. Okay, you can write your own things also, right? Whatsoever, what all you want to write, you can write, because they have seen many things in the poem. What does the speaker mean by turn back into me? So what does he mean saying that turn back into me? So he says that in order to see things, he had changed his size into huge and tiny. To turn back into me means to come back to original state, in a normal state what he was actually. Okay, I will send you the answers, question answers in the PDF form. Don't worry about that. If you're, I think you can't see in the video, right? I'll send you, don't worry. Okay, why do you think the speaker wants to turn back into himself? Why, children? It can be your answer. Okay, maybe he is bored now, right? He says there clearly, right? When he was too small, he is bored and he want to become now big. Then maybe now he is bored of being tall, big, right? So now again he want to become normal. So when the speaker gets bored of being small and big, he wants to turn back into himself. Okay. Next you see, and I would learn to say thank you in Kangaroos. So what does the speaker mean by the statement? It means that he says that it means that the poet is happy to learn kangaroos language and wants to say thank you in their language itself, right? What is meant by the word kangaroos? The word kangaroos is nothing but the language, as I told you in the in the poem itself, and I will explain, right? It is nothing but the language of the kangaroos. Why has the poet coined this word? Why he has told it particularly? The poet has coined this word to sound like and to mean a language spoken by kangaroos, right? So here, see, next one is, children, that you have to do on your own. And this one you have to write in your classwork also. Okay, you probably have many thoughts after reading this poem. As I said, you children, when you listen to this poem, now many things will be going on in your brain, right? If I become so tiny, what I will do? If I become so, okay, of course, something may be going on in your brain. If you get a chance to go, where would you go? Express your thoughts in the form of a poem or paragraph. So as I told you, sorry, the same thing you have to write here, what I said you, right? If you become so small, where all things you want to go, write any 2 places, and the 2 places where when you become so big, that you have to write on in this, what do you call, page number 25A5. Okay, it is you have to write on your own. Children, in my previous one of the video, I had told you about the homophones. I hope many of you might have listened to that. Okay, if you did not listen, go back, listen to it, and then come back and write this. Okay, because it is all related to that video itself. Homophones are nothing but, as I told you, that they are nothing but they are the words which have the same sound but different spellings and different meaning also. Okay, so I have given there that in a different way examples how it can be done and all. You can just go and watch the video and come back and learn more about this. So here you have to write down the homophones for these words. See, P-I-E-C-E, we all know what is a piece. A piece of cake we say, right? And P-E-A-C-E, peace is Shanti, right? Then MALE, male, is a boy, whereas MAIL, male, is a letter sent through the what do you call, system and all, email and all, right? FLOOR, floor, is nothing but the ground, the floor, okay, and FLOUR, floor, is nothing but the powder of wheat, the powder of rice, it's called as a floor, FLOUR. HAIR, hair, is which is on your head, and HARE, hair, is another breed of a rabbit itself, right? PLAIN, plane, is which is exactly, you can say, right, we can, table is always plane, right? PLANE, plane, is aeroplane, right? HOLE, hole, is a hole where one can pierce the thread into the hole, right? It's called as a hole. Whereas WHO, hole, is whole, the whole world, we can say. I can see the whole world through a small hole, right? Then WAIT, weight, WEIGST, weight, both are weight. WAIT, weight, is waiting for a bus and all. WEIGST, weight, is nothing but your what do you call, the weight, the quantity of anything and all, right? Then EIGST, 8, is a number. ATE, 8, is nothing but the past tense of eat. So almost you see these two words have the same sound, but they are different spellings and even the meanings are different. Okay, they are called as homophones. Now coming to the next down, you can see that they are given some unjumbled words there. You have to write down and match the words. Okay, so for the first one is ocean, second one is spin, then third one is grasshopper, the fourth one is skates, and the fifth one is kangaroo. Okay, so now you have to match this the meaning of this. Ocean is nothing but a very large area of a sea. Spin is to go round and round on its axis. Grasshopper means an insect with 8 legs. Skates, a boot with wheels for gliding over ice or a hard surface. Kangaroo is an animal with a pouch on its stomach. And the next page is synonyms. Synonyms, we all know what is synonym. I have already written last year also, we have written about the synonyms, right? The meanings, just the exact meaning. So we had to write, children, what I have written the answer, you can write your other answer also, nothing wrong. Kind, I have written helpful there. Okay, you can write in your sympathy we can write kind, something whatsoever. Tall, big. Then comes travel, journey. Okay, I have written my own. If you want to write, you can write your own, taking the meaning from the dictionary also. Okay, it's your will and wish. Okay, children, I hope this lesson was very fun. This poem was really very fun learning, and even children, you also can try to become a poet like Bobby Katz by writing your own poem. Just continue these words which is given in the page number 25. Okay, children, just try to write down that what is your well and wish that if you become so small or when if you become so tall. Okay, children, so try out this and I'll send you the notes for this lesson through PDF. Okay, thank you, children.